Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Reeve, Principal of Vanderveer Elementary School.
And I'm Dr. Tian, Superintendent of Schools.
We are so excited to welcome everyone to our Vanderveer Evening Learning Academy.
You are all in for weeks and weeks of enjoyment.
You will be learning alongside your very own Vanderveer teachers.
Also, we have teachers and administrators from across the district that will be bringing you fun learning experiences.
You will become scientists, engineers, mathematicians, writers, world explorers, and learn to communicate in different languages as you explore concepts in math, reading, writing, science, social studies, world language, and so many more.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we encourage you to visit often and view other lessons in our learning library as we add to the videos each week. Enjoy!
Hello, my name is Mrs. Hubschmidt. I'm a preschool teacher here at Vanderveer, but I also taught second grade for many years. One of my favorite subjects to teach was science. Do you love science too? That's great. Well, one of the reasons I love science so much is because of the hands-on experiments that we got to do together. So tonight, I wanted to do an experiment with you. It's all about the states of matter. So before we get started, let's take a look and see what states of matter is all about.
Ugh, it's so hot. Hey there. I'm making some strawberry popsicles. It's steaming hot today, and I really wanted to have one. But for them to stay solid, I'd have to put them in the freezer like these ones and wait for a while. Really? You don't know what a solid is? It's one of the states of matter. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about them right away. Matter, the substance all things are made of, exists in three states: liquid, like this strawberry juice; solid, like this popsicle; and gas, like the water vapor coming out of this pot. Everything we drink is in its liquid state. Matter, in its liquid state, takes on the shape of the container, and its volume always stays the same. Particles are separated and can move freely. Can you see how they're moving? They look like they're dancing. The popsicles we eat are solid. Matter in its solid state is characterized by having a fixed shape and volume. Particles are held together in an organized structure. See? Lastly, the gaseous state. The vapor coming out of the pot is a gas. Matter, in its gaseous state, can change its volume and shape, taking up the space of its container. See? Particles are well separated and can move freely. Look, they move like crazy.
Okay, so we're going to be doing something with solids, liquids, and gases? What can we do with those three states of matter? How can we make that a hands-on experiment? Well, I will tell you. We are going to make dinosaur eggs, and we're going to use states of matter to break into these eggs and hatch an animal. So I have these little toy dinosaurs. So this is what I'm going to use. You can use any small toy, something that can fit inside the palm of your hand. This is about the size of the egg that we're going to make. So go find a small toy and then come on back. Okay, you have your small toy? Hold them up. Let me see what you have. Here's my dinosaur. Oh, a toy dog. Very good. That was smart. So one of our friends couldn't find a small enough toy, so grabbed a quarter, a small coin. That's a perfect idea. I love it. Okay, so now that we have our small object that we'll be burying inside of our egg, let's review some of the other materials we will need to get this experiment started. First things first, safety. We'll need safety goggles, rubber gloves, and an apron can be helpful if you'd like to keep your clothes clean. What's that? You're wondering why we need safety goggles? Well, anytime you're mixing ingredients, you never know what might happen. Let's go over some of the other materials we'll need. We'll need a small box of baking soda, some water, some white vinegar, and food coloring. You don't need to use food coloring for this science experiment, but sometimes it's a little more fun to add some color. You'll also need a mixing bowl, a spoon, an eyedropper, or maybe a small medicine cup, or some other tool that you can use to drop a small amount of the vinegar. You can ask a grown-up to help you find something similar to an eyedropper. And finally, we'll need a small toy to hatch. In my house, we're big fans of dinosaurs, so I have plenty of toy dinosaurs laying around. Anything small that would fit maybe in the middle of your hand that you can hide inside an egg that we're going to make. And finally, we need a space to make a mess. You might want to use a cookie sheet or a baking dish. I like to use a baking dish because it's clear and I can look and observe this science experiment from the top and the sides and even the bottom if I wanted. And finally, you'll need an adult to help you. Anybody that is older than you that can help follow the directions and help you do this science experiment safely. Well, are we ready? Let's go hatch some dinosaurs. Okay, I've got everything I need. Got all my materials, my apron. Oh, thank you. Miss Domingo gave it to me. All right, my goggles. And I have my gloves, but I don't need them yet. So I'm just going to put them aside for now. Okay, first I've got my mixing bowl. And the first thing we're going to put in is the baking soda. I am using a 1 cup measuring cup, and let's see here, I'm gonna pour 1 cup in. It doesn't have to be exact, but about 1 cup should give you about 1 dinosaur egg. Okay, 1 cup. Alrighty. Okay, if you are choosing to use color, this would be the time to add it in. Right, I chose green. I'm going to put just a few drops. Alrighty, put that aside and start mixing that in a little bit. Might not start mixing very well until we add some liquid, but try to get it around a little bit. Okay, mix that around. All right, it doesn't blend perfectly smoothly, but that's okay. All right, can't really even tell, but it's turning a little green. The next thing we're going to add is water. Now, we do not need this much water. We only need a little bit. So I'm going to use a tablespoon, and I'm going to add just a little bit at a time. So start with we'll start with 2 tablespoons. Okay, and mix that in. And you want it to be kind of like a toothpaste consistency. I'm almost there with 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to add a little bit more, not even a full tablespoon more, just maybe half. Just a little bit. Okay, so you keep working with it until you get a consistency that you think you could mold. Think about Play-Doh, how you can shape it. So that's kind of what we're going for. All right. I think mine's pretty good. I want a little bit more. I changed my mind. I want more. So I'm adding a little bit of water at a time. What do you think I would do if I added too much water? How could I solve that problem? Yes, so I add water if it's too dry, or I add more baking soda if it gets too wet. So you and your adult kind of work together to figure out the right consistency. Okay, I think that mine is pretty good. How are you doing? All right, great. Well, then let's get started. So this is where I now want my gloves on because I used the green dye. I don't want my hands turning green, but my gloves, they don't mind being green. Okay. Oops, here we go. And now you want either your baking dish or your cookie sheet, whatever you decided that you want to place your egg in, okay? Something that has sides, because when we add the vinegar later, it will make a mess. It will spill over. So definitely something with sides. Okay, here's my dinosaur. So what I'm going to do is take a pretty good amount of this paste that we just made. Okay. Okay, you kind of want to make a ball. And then take your dinosaur or your toy and kind of press it in. Okay? Pressed it in. And now I'm going to take more and put it on top. Okay? And try to hide that dinosaur or toy completely. I can see its tail. Oops. Told you we'd make a mess. All right. So pack it real good. Make sure your toy's hiding completely. I have a lot more of my paste here, so I'm going to keep going. All right. Oops. I really am making a mess. Okay, so here is my egg. Now you have 2 choices right now. We could work on it just like this, or if you want it to really get hard, you can put it in the freezer for about an hour. Okay, I'm going to skip that step for now so that we can get right to work and see what happens when we add our vinegar. Okay, so we mixed a solid with a liquid and made kind of a paste, and I now have an egg. I'd say it's pretty solid, right? It's kind of a soft solid, all right? But it doesn't flow like a liquid, and it certainly isn't a gas that fills the air. So we've got a solid here. Now, for the fun part, we're going to add another liquid. This is where the vinegar comes in. We are going to add vinegar. Let me move my camera down a little bit at a time. I'm using a medicine dropper, but if you don't have this at home, you want something that can add very small amounts to your egg. Maybe a medicine cup or even a small measuring spoon. This one is a teaspoon, so something that you can just dribble on a small amount. I like to use a dropper. It's fun. So I'm going to put some vinegar in here in a smaller dish, just so I don't go crazy with my vinegar. Whew, it smells strong. It smells strong. Okay, so a little bit at a time, I'm going to soak up some vinegar and drop it onto the egg. Let's see what happens. Ah, can you see that? Let me bring it closer to you. Ready? Ah. How cool is that? It's making, you can hear the fizzing sound, and it's making bubbles. It's turning into a gas. How neat is that? So what we're going to do now is keep dripping your vinegar on your egg little by little, and you're going to be chipping away until your toy is revealed. All right, go ahead, have fun. I love that sound, that fizzing sound. It makes me feel like something is happening. All right, keep going. I'll check in with you in a minute. I've got a tail. Okay, I'm making some progress with my dinosaur here. How are you doing on your side? Good, it's fun, isn't it? Oops, didn't get any on that one. Ooh. I love how it just keeps fizzing. All right. There we go. I think I can easily break my dinosaur out now. There he is. All right, let's clean it up. Give it a little vinegar bath. There we go. I have hatched a dinosaur. Okay, so I decided to make a second egg, only this time I'm not hiding a dinosaur. I want you to see if you can help me discover what's inside this egg. It's another creature that doesn't exist. Just like dinosaurs are extinct, we no longer see dinosaurs on Earth. This is another animal that we do not see. It's another popular animal. I know I told you I teach preschool. Many of my students love reading about dinosaurs and drawing pictures of dinosaurs. Well, inside this egg is another very popular creature. Okay. Some might even say it's magical. Are you wondering? Are you starting to think about what might be in this egg? All right, let's keep going and find out. Can you tell what it is? We're almost there. Let me get... It's a good little fine motor activity, squeezing your fingers around this. Oh, somebody's going to figure it out now. Can you tell what it is? Whoops. Look, it's turning to soup. Let's see, we're almost done. I've almost got it out. That might have been the one. Okay, Did anybody guess that I had a unicorn hiding in my dinosaur egg? Well, I hope you had fun getting a little messy tonight. I know I sure did.
Let's recap a little. Matter exists in 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid matter has a definite shape and volume. Particles are well organized and held closely together. Liquid matter takes on the shape of its container, occupying always the same space. Besides, particles are separated and can move freely. Gas matter doesn't have a fixed shape or volume. Its particles are well separated and can move freely. That is all about states of matter. Very interesting, isn't it? Well, I'm leaving now. I won't sell any popsicles if I don't. See you around.
Thank you for joining me tonight as we explored the 3 states of matter while hatching dinosaurs or other small objects from our dinosaur eggs. I hope you had fun. Have a wonderful evening.